You know what we love? Cupcakes, chocolates. But you know what we also love? We love stories. We are wired to love and enjoy stories. We just do. And you know what? It is also one of the most powerful tools that you can use when speaking to people. And telling stories or being a good storyteller will make you a lot more interesting person. What if I told you by the end of this video, you will know how to tell stories in a way that works? Why? Because I am going to be giving you a formula from movie makers to help you tell better stories. And I'll tell you what, if you learn this, if you begin to use this, all of a sudden, the level at which you can make your stories interesting is like massive. It's amazing and it works. So keep watching. Hello guys, welcome to Models of Excellence, where we teach you tools, strategies, techniques and models to lead an excellent life. Now, have you ever watched movies and thought, you know what, I have read of a similar story. It's kind of cliche, but you also keep watching it, don't you? Every year, hundreds of movies, thousands of movies on similar theme, on same formula is made again and again and again. And in fact, this has been happening from a very long time. Since the time we learned how to communicate, since the time we learned how to tell stories, we have been using the same formula till now. And we will continue to use this formula. Now, before I come to the formula, for whatever reason, people, scientists understand this, storytellers understand this. They understand that this formula works. They don't know why, but they say that we are wired as human beings to respond to this story. It's like when somebody compliments you, no matter who you are, you feel good about it, right? Similarly, for whatever reason, this storytelling model or this storytelling formula works. With that said, let's start with the formula. So this formula has three basic parts. Okay, three basic parts, which are setup. That's the first part. The second part is conflict, and the third part is resolution. Now, what are these three parts? Starting with the first part, which is setup. Setup is where you kind of establish the characters a little bit, or you introduce what's happening. You let them know what is happening, where are they, what's going on a little bit. The second part is called the conflict. Conflict is where you bring up an issue, a challenge, a problem, an obstacle for characters to go through. The third part is resolution. Resolution is where characters would have changed because of that obstacle or because of that challenge. Now, one example, one very cliche example, one well-known example is this. Boy likes girl, girl likes boy, both of them fall in love. That's the setup. Then conflict. Then what happens is father of the girl does not like the marriage because he has promised his relative that he would get his daughter married to him. And that's the conflict. Then the resolution part. Then girl runs away with the guy she loved, and then both of them try to escape all these rowdies and all that. And somehow they figure out a way to convince her dad on why this marriage is important or why this marriage should happen. And he gets convinced, he feels happy about it. He hugs the guy and he says, I'll bless you for the marriage. That is the resolution. Resolution is where you see the girl and the father has changed because of that obstacle, right? So this is very cliche. I know most of you will be able to relate to it because this is kind of how most of our movies go. Most of Indian movies go. So how do you use this for your stories? Remember, next time when you're telling stories, try to practice some stories. Keep that stories in hand. All you have to do is introduce three parts. Start with the setup, where you are, what's going on a little bit, then conflict, then resolution. And I'm telling you, just go test it out with people. The way people respond is different. Okay? So I am going to tell you a story before I end this to show you how you respond. And you don't even have to be that prepared. If you kind of understand the story well, to say it, it's good enough. Okay? So let's start. Okay. So this was a very unusual day. I was just sitting there, I had woken up late. I was working on something on my computer. And I thought, you know what? I feel lazy today. Like, I just don't feel good. Like I have to do something. I'm not productive enough. I'm not getting enough things done. And we have all been there, right? Obviously, right? And I had to do something different. So I came up with an idea that most people would not do. I picked up my phone, I dialed the number, I called the school principal and I said, "Hello, sir. I had spoken to your management and they had asked me to come and train your teachers for public speaking. So, would they be ready today? Would it be possible if I could come and train them?" And they said, "Okay." And they said, "Come there at about 3:30. It was 2 here." So I said, "Okay." And then I kept the phone. Now I had no excuse. I had to go get it done. Right? But I was not in a good state of mind. So I hadn't even prepared well. I didn't know my content. Like, I didn't know what exactly I was going to speak. But then I went. Walked into the school. And then it hit me that, man, I should have been prepared more. Why? Because I had seen all these teachers sitting there with the chairs. Things were very serious. I mean, everyone took this seriously and all this was set up. And I was like, ah, did I make a mistake? And I had a friend with me who was also training. So we thought, you know what, let's go ahead, let's go in and let's do it. And we went in and I started. I said, "Hello guys, welcome. You know what, how many guys know about public speaking and all that?" And I started. And slowly something changed. Because I had not prepared, my mind was open to new ideas. On spot, I was able to come up with some amazing concepts and ideas. And as I was telling them about it, as I was training them, as I was giving them exercises, for them it was like I'd prepared all these things, but I hadn't. And this also put me in such a good state of mind. I'm like, I love it. I just feel good. All these creative ideas. I was just winging it. And we went, we did, we kind of had the structure. It wasn't like we hadn't prepared at all. So we went, we delivered. It was lovely. They loved it, we loved it. We went home happy, they went home happy. And I was like, wow, this felt so good. And I came back home, I got few more trainings. And so a lot of times, one thing you would realize is when you progress, that is when you really get motivated. Sometimes all you need is progress, not motivation. Just start and motivation will come. With that said, thank you so much for watching, guys. Go apply it, it's fun. And also, if you felt like you learned something new, leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who you think are not good storytellers. With that said, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.